probably there's nothing more exciting to bend than a piece of wood that has a high amount of figure. It's also the highest risk reward bend there is, because you either get it or you just sent your money into the trash can. This is Sapelli. It is highly figured. To give you an idea what the figuring looks like, just a little bit of moisture on here, and you should be able to see the quilting coming up. But this is highly figured. Now, I know there's some people that will use paper and tin foil. I just use the paper. I take craft paper and I soak it. I try to soak it for about 3 to 5 minutes. I put it in a bucket. I'll put it on like this, and I'll put it on like that. It's not very difficult to do. I will tear this off. I don't need it all. So as you can see, I have wood in my paper. My paper, I want to make sure is well saturated all over. Now the paper is more of a carrier for the water than it is anything else. But that's basically an anti-scorching agent. If I let this wood dry out during the bending process, the case hardening happens, the wood gets hard, and at that point you really run the risk of cracking. In order to really saturate a piece of wood with water, you would have to soak this thing for hours upon hours. That water does not penetrate the wood all that much. So I have my piece of wood, my machine's getting warm, I have my straight side to my right. I put it into the machine just like I did with all of the others. It's nothing out of the norm. The only difference is that when we go to do our drying time, it's going to take a little bit more time because we have so much water. The temperature will actually, if you watch it on the thermometer, you're going to know when you dry out because it's going to spike. I can watch this, my temperature is actually going to stay rather than cool, like 250 degrees to 270. That is one reason why I like to put my thermometer between the top slat and the blanket so I know how hot the blanket actually is. The wood is only going to get so hot. I have my piece of wood in my machine. I have it situated right where I want. My thumb is representing the back of the guitar, and when I bring it down here, I'm right about at the end, so I'm squeaking it out a little bit more, and I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to let this go. It's at 236 degrees. Give a little bit more waist twist. I'm about maybe a good 5/8 of an inch off of the pattern at the waist. I have plenty of water, and this is where it's really critical. I'm at 247, 250 degrees. Right here's my force. I don't want to do this. That's going to give it like a bend. I want it right here that I'm pressing my wood. I'm at 275 degrees. I can go to the front. I have plenty of moisture here. That's good. And again, I'm letting the springs do the work. I don't know if you can see it, but we're steaming like a little tea kettle. And now, I'm going to run the waist down. If you hear a crack, don't panic. Allow the bending process to be completed. If you have a crack and it's junk, it's junk. If you have a crack and you can repair it, it'll be much more repairable after you do the bending than if you try to take it out, glue it, and rebend it. So with this, we're going to let it go. I will probably, at the end of my cool down cycle, hit this with air, blow out the excess water, pull the wet paper out, and try it again. And that's how I bend figured wood. Okay, we finished the cycle. It is now cooled down, and I took a little air blast and blew out the excess moisture so I could get it to dry out quicker. And you're going to see that figured wood, this being a highly figured set of sapele, will actually bend rather nicely. I didn't need a whole lot of anything else other than the wet paper. We have a little bit of moisture residue yet, but you can see there's minimal warpage that will sand right out. You can see how figured the wood is. And what I will do now till I get the other side bent is I will take a half a mold. I can place it in it. I'll let the mold weigh on it. And now I can go to the next step and bend the other half. And there I have a figured piece of wood bent strictly by using wet craft paper. You can use any paper at all as long as it was saturated. I don't recommend paper towel. So as you can see, it's a simple process. I hope that you've learned a little bit from me, and if I help make your building a little bit easier, that is what I want to do. Thanks again from John Hall at Blues Creek Guitars. Find us on the web. Bye-bye.